how I came to cut J. Cole. People always ask me, how did you cut this person and that person? And they always want to know, how do I cut all the different celebrities that I've cut? You know, the names are all out there. You know, off the top of my head, we have LeBron James, we have J. Cole, which I'm talking about today, Kendrick Lamar, Anthony Joshua, Stormzy, Reggie Yates, Tiny Temper, Janet Jackson. I mean, the list goes on. Nelly, Plan B, Mac Miller, the list goes on. Ludacris, Richard Blackwood, the list just keeps going. But today, I'm talking about how I came to cut J. Cole. And if you don't know who I am already, my name is Mark McIver, and this is the SliderCuts Barber Business Podcast, where I talk all things barbering, business, and in between. So let's talk about it. How did I come to cut J. Cole? Well, many people always think, I'm part of an agency, or they think I must reach out to them, or they just think I must be connected to someone that's making all of these things happen. And the truth is, all these different people that I've cut in my life, in my history of barbering, they have all come from different means. And this is why it's good to focus on building a business which has different elements in the way you portray yourself, the way you promote yourself, where you put yourself out there, the platforms you're on, because it's not just one place that these opportunities are going to come from. And this is what this whole series is about when I'm talking about how I came to cut X, Y, and Z. Because you'll find if you watch all the different ones, like the LeBron James one has already happened. And I explained to you how that came about. The J. Cole one came about from different means. The LeBron James one, to give you a recap for those who haven't heard that episode, came about from me cutting a random guy in a barbershop one day who happened to be a basketball player named Pops Mensah, who was over in London on break while the season was over, because he's originally from London. A few years later, the Olympics was happening, and because I cut his hair every year that he's in London, he recommended me to order USA basketball team and said, look, when you're in London, come to my barber. And long and short of it, that's how I end up cutting LeBron James. So now, how did I come to cut J. Cole? And when I'm telling this story, guys, I want you guys to focus and understand and listen to the details, because each story is different. Some of the stories will line up, and be like, okay, that one is similar to the other one. But listen, because when you're building your business, and you as barbers who want to do all these different things and cut all these different people, need to listen carefully, because it isn't just one way. And you can be part of an agency and that can work. You can connect with certain people and that will work. Yes, all these different things work. But just listen to the stories. So J. Cole, how it all happened was my sister-in-law. It started with my sister-in-law. It started before my sister-in-law, you could say. It started off with me marrying my wife and then my sister-in-law becoming my sister-in-law. But it started off with my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law had a friend that she grew up with from her area. And I don't know, she saw him somewhere and they were just talking, just catching up. And she said, you know what? You should get a haircut from my brother-in-law. He's an amazing barber. Trust me, you need to come to my brother-in-law to get a haircut. She said, you know what? I'm going to, sort it out. Like, I'm going to pay for it, like as a gift to him. So she called me and said, hey, can you cut my friend? Is a guy I grew up with. And I'm just giving him a gift because I think he should cut with you. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, I'm going to pay for it. And, I'm not sure she actually paid me for it. I'm not sure she paid it, I'm not sure she did. I don't remember her paying me for it, that's family. But anyway, so he comes into the shop. I cut his hair. We don't really talk. We talk a little bit like, as you do, how you doing, blah, 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 what's your name? I knew his name already because my sister-in-law had told me. But I'm like, just brief talk. About 3 to 6 months later, he booked me himself for a haircut. So now we're talking, just talk, hey, how you doing? So on, how's life? How things, this and that. Just casual barber talk. That was it. A few months later, he calls me. It's a Sunday. He calls me and I pick up. I don't think I have his number. I just pick up a random call and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Hey, hello. He's like, hey, this is, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm with J. Cole right now and he needs a haircut. I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, I've told him he should get you to cut his hair. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, are you available today? Can you come down kind of now, like in an hour, 2 hours, something like that, right? And I say to him, yeah, no problem. I can sort that out. So I got there, I cut J. Cole, get through the haircut. He's happy with the haircut. I cut him a few times after that as well. He's happy with the haircut. All good. So this seems like a brief story, kind of like, okay, so your sister-in-law hooked you up with, never hooked me up. My sister-in-law presented this guy to me for me to cut his hair. I cut his hair. Then, maybe 6 months, 9 months later, suddenly he's with J. Cole. Now, the point of this story is this. When my sister-in-law asked me to cut his hair, she didn't say, oh, he's in music management or anything like that. I'm not even sure if my sister-in-law knew that at the time. She was just doing a good deed for someone that she grew up with and was just like, yeah, you can get a good haircut for my brother-in-law. So when I'm cutting this guy's hair right now, we're not talking about anything to do with what he does. I know nothing about him, to be honest. I have no clue who he is, but I'm giving him a good haircut. Why? Because he's in my chair. That's it. He's never mentioned when I'm talking to him and cutting his hair, one single celebrity he's connected to. What he really does, I think he must have mentioned he does a bit of music, but that's it. So I'm serving the client, which is in my chair, how I'm supposed to serve him, because that's how you should serve everybody that steps into your chair. Now, to make it clear, none of us are perfect. We have up and down days, but you should be aiming to always serve the client in your chair correctly. And if you do that, what you'll find is you don't miss out on opportunities. And this is how a lot of the opportunities which have come my way, I've got because I've just done well in the interview I didn't realize I was actually in. So I cut his hair, done a good job. He was happy with it. I was happy with it. He came back 3 to 6 months later, done another good job. He was happy with it. I was happy with it. And that was it. I wasn't thinking about, oh, he's going to give me this opportunity. I didn't know nothing about it in the slightest. And a side point, it's funny because a lot of the people who you may think, and even in my career that I have thought could give me the opportunities that I might want, the opportunities have never come from them. Or should I say, they have rarely ever come from that path. It always comes from these random places, these random clients, because everybody you cut is connected to someone. They have cousins, they have friends, they may be managers, they may be PR team, they may be PAs. They're connected to someone. So when you do a good job to everybody or try to do a good job to everybody, what you'll find is you're putting out and laying good seeds so that when opportunities come up, people are like, oh yeah, do you know what? There's this barber I cut with. He's good or she's good. You should try them out. Because what's funny is your reputation will actually go out there without you even knowing it. Because I'm going to give you a side point, and I never mentioned this actually on the LeBron James video. I forgot to say this. For those which have seen the video, when Pops Mensah, who's the one who recommended me to LeBron James, came to the barbershop, he had never been there before. He came to the barbershop because his cousin is Lethal B. Lethal B is a music artist in the UK, for those which are from outside the UK. Lethal B at that time had never been to the barbershop, but he had heard good things about the barbershop. So he said to him, yo, when you're in London, try out that barbershop because I heard that they are good. And that's what I mean by your reputation will spread far and wide. So if you're doing good things, that will spread. If you're doing bad things, that will also spread. And that's why I always say the person you want to be when the right person is around, meaning the person with the opportunities, should be the person you become, period. That way you won't miss opportunities. So when this guy who I cut called me to cut cut J. Cole's hair, that all came because I served him correctly because he was a client in my chair and not because I thought anything would come from it when I was cutting his hair. And this is what I want to explain, and I want it to really sink in to you barbers, especially you younger, new barbers, that yes, when you see someone with opportunity, that's presented to you, take the opportunity and, make sure you do right by that person. But I'm saying take it further than that. Just try and do right by everyone and you won't miss all these opportunities. You're a barber, so cut hair well. If you do a haircut and it's not that great, own it and be like, okay, cool, that wasn't that great. Next time I need to do it even better. If someone complains to you and says, look, I don't think this haircut's that great, be honest with yourself. If it's not great, be like, okay, apologies, let me redo it. I'll refund you that, or maybe I'll give you compensation depending on how bad it is, but own it. Many people miss out on so many opportunities because of their attitudes, their characters, and their lack of willingness just to serve everybody that's in their chair well. Nobody is perfect. I can't say I've done the greatest job at that, but I try to do that. And this is how all these opportunities actually come about. It's random situations like just cutting someone randomly, and then suddenly they've connected you with this person. Look at all the links. This came from my sister-in-law doing a good deed for her childhood friend. And then suddenly he's hooked me up with cutting J. Cole. Then I've cut him quite a few times. I actually think that I might be the last person, and I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but I actually might be the last person that actually cut J. Cole's hair. Because I remember at the time he was growing his hair because he was doing his album, and he said, when he's doing his album, he grows his hair, right? So, I tapered him and so on, shaped him up, did all that stuff there. But then I remember after that, I'm not sure if he got a haircut after the few times I cut him. Because he ended up getting dreads. So I might be the last person or one of the last people that actually cut his hair. Now that may be a good thing or that may be a bad thing, because that might be, he was so disgusted with the haircut. He's like, bro, I'm never getting a haircut again. Or he just started liking the look of it, which I think is what happened. He started liking the look of having more hair on his head, and he just let it grow out. And now he's got dreads. But this is the story of how I came to cut J. Cole. And in further episodes, if you guys want to, in the comments, let me know, who would you like me to talk about? I've listed some of the people. Some of you guys know some of the other people I've cut and I haven't mentioned. If there's anybody and any story in particular you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. And if you are a barber and you want to learn how I've done all these things, how I've grown the brand that I've got, how to up your income, how to increase your clientele, how to promote yourself, and so on, I have got a barber business community group. The link is in the description. So click it, view it, see if it's for you. If it's for you, sign up, and I'll see you inside. But thank you for tuning to another episode of the SliderCuts Barber Business Podcast, where I talk all things barbering, business, and in between.